Welcome to a brand new week, and we are continuing our study, the book of Exodus and the story of Moses and his assignment to deliver Israel from captivity. So we go to chapter 6, verse 26 and 27. These are the same Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, "Bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies." These are the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are the same Moses and Aaron. Now, from chapter 6, from verse 14 to 25, there is a genealogical account of the children of Jacob, but it just focuses on the first three, and then the third son, that is Levi, whose grandchildren then emerge into Moses and Aaron. So basically what the Bible does is to tell us where Moses is coming from. And I've said many times that when you see a biblical word or phrase repeated in close proximity in a verse or two, it means God wants you to pay attention to something. And if you look at it, there is a phrase there that says, "These are the same Aaron and Moses." And it says that twice. God just wants you to know these Aaron and Moses are the same people who emerged from this family. These are the people that God is using. It roots them historically in a place and that God could use. So the three things I want you to note about from this verse. First is that God knows where we are coming from. God knows where we are coming from. He knows the families we came out of. And the families may not be perfect. He knows our history. He knows our past. He knows our ancestry, but he still chooses to use us. And don't ever think that because of where you are coming from or how hard it is or how bad where you're coming from is, God will disqualify you. These are the same Aaron and Moses that God used. And you are the same person God will use even though he knows where you are coming from. The second thing is that God knows where we are. Not only does he know where we are coming from, he knows where we are. There were thousands of people in Israel, but God chose Moses and Aaron. God knows where we are. He doesn't mix us up with people. So we may be in a crowd, we may be with thousands of people, but he knows how to locate us. He knows how to find us. He knows how to track us. And don't ever think that there's so many people that God has forgotten about you. He never forgets you. He knows where we are. And thirdly, God knows where we are going. He knows what he wants to do with us. So he knows where we're coming from. He knows where we are. And he knows what he's going to do with that. He says these are the people that he gave the command to go and set the children of Israel free. God has an assignment for you, and that assignment will not be disqualified by your ancestry. And that assignment will not be disqualified by your history, by who your father was, who your grandparents were, their mistakes, their sins, their offenses. When God chooses you, he knows where you're coming from, he knows where you are, and he knows what he's going to do with you. And that is why God chose Moses. He wasn't from a perfect family. As a matter of fact, if you read the story of Moses, there are some issues there that you would think would make God say, "Oh, no, this is not a good family to choose from." But these are the same Moses and Aaron from this family line, with its problems, with its challenges, yet God chose them and used them. And God will do the same with you. He knows where you're coming from, he knows where you are, and he knows what he's going to do with your life. Exodus chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. So the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have made you as God to Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother shall be your prophet. You shall speak all that I command you, and Aaron your brother shall tell Pharaoh to send the children of Israel out of his land." After many doubts expressed by Moses, God still says, "You are the one. I'm going to use you." And God affirms and reaffirms his confidence in Moses by making Moses know what he had been made by God to be. I want you to note the phrase, I have made you. Remember yesterday we talked about the fact that God knew where Moses was coming from, where he was and where he was going. And God says, in spite of where you are coming from, I've made you. You don't make yourself. And that's an important thing we need to remember, that when God calls us, he makes us. We don't make ourselves. And that's why you can't disqualify yourself by looking at where you're coming from and say, oh, because of this and that, I cannot do what God wants me to do. God says, I've made you. And what did God say he has made Moses? He says, I've made you as God to Pharaoh. And that's an interesting statement. And remember, it's a figure of speech. It's an idiom of his expression. It doesn't mean Moses had become God, but God is saying, I have made you to be like God to Moses. What does that mean? That when God speaks a word, it happens. When God commands, it happens. So God is literally saying to Moses, what you say in the presence of Pharaoh, I will make happen. So you are playing a role similar to the role I play in relationship with Pharaoh, that your word will carry power, your word will bring signs and wonders, your word will bring miracles. So God says you're going to have power over Pharaoh. He will not rule over you, you're going to rule over him just as God rules over all things. So God says to Moses, don't be worried about where you're coming from. You're going to occupy a place of power and authority over Pharaoh. Then he says, I have made Aaron as your prophet. That's also a figure of speech. It's an extension. It doesn't mean that Aaron is a prophet of Moses. It means that Aaron is going to play the role a prophet plays in relation to God. And what does a prophet do? God says a word to them in secret, and they come and say it publicly. So God says that's what Aaron is going to do. What I tell you in secret, you're going to tell Aaron, and he will announce it publicly. Because Moses says, I don't know how to talk. He says, fine, I'll hire you somebody who can do the talking for you, but you are the one I speak to. Aaron is the one who repeats your words. So in this arrangement, God says, I've made you, and I've given you authority over Pharaoh, and I've given you somebody to speak the words that I give to you. God has a way of giving us authority over things we think are too powerful for us. And not only that, he's able to link us to people who can help us amplify the work that we do. God brings the right team into our orbit, into our space, so we can do his work and speak his word and fulfill his purposes in our lives. He knows our weaknesses. He knows our limitations. And when you pray and trust him, he will bring the right person to complement you so that what he tells you to do will not be limited by your limitations. So God says, I have made you. And today I believe the same God who spoke to Moses is saying to you, I have made you, I've given you authority, and I've given you the right people to work with you in this assignment.
We believe this video was helpful. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section down below. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.